afternoon, everybody. We are very honored to have Doug with us. And Doug and I are just going to have a chat about all things AI. Doug, the innovation in AI is happening at a dizzying pace. How are you seeing your customers extract value from Gen AI and AI initiatives and making their impossible possible?
Well, I think with Gen AI, it's really the select few at this point that are, making it, taking advantage of it, and really seeing value. We just did a survey, a Constellation Research 2024 AI survey, and 70% said they have yet to see ROI, or they're only seeing modest ROI, versus 21% who are saying it's exceeding or meeting what are admittedly very high expectations for Gen AI. The good news, I think most people recognize, it's very early days, certainly for enterprise. Our respondents, 31%, said they're increasing their investment in things like Gen AI for 2025 by 50% or more, and another 18% by 25 to 50%. So, they're still believing, still investing, and know it's going to take a longer amount of time.
Yeah, that's fascinating. What do you think are the barriers to adoption that they're facing?
Well, first, I would say there are successes out there. We publish a lot of case studies on our site, Constellation Insights, and the pattern we see is that those that are exceeding with traditional AI and machine learning programs are the ones that are succeeding with Gen AI early on. A great example is Rocket Mortgage, a very digital-first company. I love doing business with them. I have a mortgage with them. A very straight-through digital process. You can do everything on the site, and they're harnessing Gen AI to improve on that. They're using 50 million call records, applying Gen AI summarization to sort of identify service patterns. And, they now have it up to 70% of what customers need to do is done self-service. So it's not about call deflection. It's not about, reducing the customer satisfaction by putting a phone screen in front of them or delaying their answers. It's making it possible in enabling them to do everything on the site for themselves. So, the use of unstructured information is very new, but we're bringing it onto our platforms where we do our analytics and reporting, and we're going to industrialize it.
That's really good to know. And you were speaking about the challenges that they're facing as well.
Yeah, bringing it onto the platform for the first time. Previously, use of unstructured data was often a very artisanal application that was off on the side. Or you might have given unstructured and semi-structured information to a third party to do things like sentiment analysis. But now we're bringing it into a platform like Teradata, and you want to make it accessible at scale. So new techniques like chunking and vectorization and retrieval augmented generation. But I think the real challenge is identifying the business problems, prioritizing the business problems where you see a good fit, building a cross-functional team, not just IT in the business, but the different skills within both of those camps, the different constituents of the business problem. That's the key to the change management. That's the key to the productionalization challenges we've had. And then, as we heard this morning from Martin, the first horizon tends to be those internal applications, IT support, product support, customer sentiment analysis, customer support, but, facing these AI assistants to your own employees first. And then once you build up trust, that's when you turn it around and turn it to your customers and perhaps your partners. But let me turn the question around to you. Yeah. What is Teradata doing to help customers overcome?
Yeah, our customers are on their AI journey, and they're in different phases of adoption of AI. We've seen just some very interesting wide variety of use cases. So, for example, we have large financial institutions looking for regulatory compliance or customer complaints via text or phone calls. We have a large retailer looking at sending personalized targeted emails campaigns to their customers, and they've seen a sales uplift of about 28%. Using images of products to write copy and cost optimizations there, to actually large manufacturing, really looking at manufacturing defect analysis. So we see this wide variety of use cases, and we want to unlock these use cases. But what's interesting about these use cases is that they need impactful AI capabilities, they need AI at scale, and they need it with security and trust. So we've delivered a lot of capabilities in ClearScape Analytics to help our customers achieve business value that they couldn't before. So we have really performant in-database functions. We've enabled our customers to bring the innovation that's happening in the open, right? So now they can bring a model from Hugging Face, for example, bring it to Teradata, run it on our massively parallel architecture, and achieve really good results. We are very excited about our partnership announcement with NVIDIA, where our customers can now bring in large language models and actually use GPUs to accelerate some of their inferencing requests as well. And with this, wide capabilities that we've offered, we're also meeting our customers where they are, right? So fit for purpose AI, really delivering value in a hybrid cloud environment for our customers.
Very good.
We've heard just so much about different kinds of models that are coming around. Doug, how do you see the future of models evolving, and how will they continue to deliver value?
Well, we've seen sort of a Precambrian explosion. If you show the chart, these are the bubbles reflect the size of the model. The data is the horizontal axis. And so you see it's not just large models. There's mid-sized models. There's open source models. The open source are a diamond shape. And audio, video, not just text. So it's not just about language. And we see organizations really embracing a diversity of these model types. An example is DistillBERT. It's an open distilled version of BERT, which is popularly used for sentiment analysis, but it's distilled, meaning 40% fewer parameters, but that makes it 60% faster and retains 95% of the accuracy. And this happens to be one of the models that Teradata has curated from the list, the big, huge list available on Hugging Face for use in some of these solutions you've come up with, like customer complaint analysis. So, some Teradata's competitors have come up with libraries or gardens with, dozens or maybe a score of models, but that doesn't compare very well with a Hugging Face. It has 300,000 models available. And I've also seen some, what I call vanity models, not really in the model business, but they come out with this, opportune time when a conference is coming up. The real test of a model is the community behind it, the investment that's being made in the model. And in the case of open source, the community adoption is key. And this is something to consider when you're looking to build on that model. And customers also want to see deployment options to be able to train and tune models in their own VPCs or even on premises. And this is where the small and mid-sized models that you're highlighting with these announcements come into play.
Yeah. And, we are seeing some very interesting, like I said, very interesting use cases, but we support really three well-defined design patterns to unlock Gen AI use cases for our customers. One is just in database, right? Bring your model, bring the innovation that's happening in the open, or if it's a private or a proprietary model, bring it. We wanted to give our customers the flexibility, right? And open up the world of innovation for them. The second is in platform, right? Bring your large language model to the platform. But we didn't stop there. We also want our customers to leverage API endpoints to use the models hosted on cloud. So if you have a need to use OpenAI or Gemini, you can absolutely seamlessly do it. And that's how, we at Teradata have unlocked that value for our customers.
Right. I learned the interesting tidbit yesterday that the in-database versus in-platform, when it's in-platform, it's actually running sort of in a container environment rather directly.
It's running in an analytic compute cluster, with our open analytics framework. We're just seeing, so much change happening with AI. How are you seeing multi-cloud and hybrid environments evolving as AI gains more adoption?
Well, hybrid is going away more slowly than I think a lot of people expected. A lot of large enterprises that we work with are sticking with hybrid, don't plan to go all cloud, particularly if they're highly regulated. Many banks are in this stance. They're dealing with data residency and very stringent regulatory requirements. So they're not getting out of that posture, even if they are moving a lot of workload to the cloud. And also multi-cloud. I mean, we've seen the hyperscalers themselves coming out with so many options for, more options for on-prem data access and federated query, federated access, fabric access to data wherever it might live, including other clouds. And they're finally acknowledging that everything isn't going to live just in their world. So, you know, that's a great step forward. And in cases where companies do have on-prem capacity still, we're seeing a few examples. I wouldn't say it's a stampede, but a few examples where organizations are actually repatriating workloads that they brought to the cloud, particularly if they're stable and predictable, and they've seen some sticker shock with some cloud capacity. But if they have a stable and predictable workload where cloud elasticity doesn't really play, it's not a factor, then we've seen them repatriate and handle that workload much more cost effectively on premises.
Yeah, definitely in a very interesting world. You know, from a Teradata perspective, we've always been multi-platform. So we are present in all clouds, and we are seeing a similar trend with on-prem as well. And we have a pretty strong on-prem presence at the moment. Because of data regulations, data residency requirements, you know, the new regulation that the data cannot leave the country, it's going to impact 3/4 of the world's population. Right.
And more countries are implementing that. It's like a domestic employment program.
It is. Yeah, that's well said. And with, you know, just scale requirements that some of our customers have. And like you said, you know, some of them are receiving a sticker shock. To solve for that, we are starting to really see traction in the on-prem world too. And we will continue forward with our multi-cloud hybrid AI strategy as we move forward. So this is, you know, I wanted to share this with everybody. Same analytics available everywhere, whether it's the major clouds or the different platforms. And I don't know if I mentioned, but 75% of our customers are actually hybrid.
Very good. Yeah, we're past that.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, Meeta, we're now seeing government initiatives to regulate AI. The EU AI Act comes to mind. Government proposed voluntary guidelines. The NIST AI risk management framework is getting some notoriety. I know you're an expert in this area, so maybe you can tell us a little bit about how you see governance frameworks evolving.
Yeah, and you know, we look at governance from two different lenses, Doug. One is just a set of policies that our customers are implementing as they define, you know, their path on productizing AI. So this could include things like, this is how we're going to get organized, this is how we're going to skill up, this is how the organization will look like, these are the approval policies, these are the use cases that will be prioritized, etc. Quite a few of our customers, whether it's large financial institutions or large retailers, are in the process of defining them. And you know, sometimes they start a use case and they start defining their governance framework in parallel. That also gives them guardrails around how to honor all of these acts and all of these regulations that are coming, right? Because large financial institutions have to get approval by the lawyers and people who answer to the regulators before they do something. We also look at actually delivering capabilities to honor AI governance. That means our model ops capability to manage the life cycle of a model. It also means being able to have data governance as well as trusted AI capabilities such as explainability. So, you know, we are on a path to deliver that to our customers as they manage their models in production, but also, you know, be able to help them, you know, define their governance frameworks and what does a good framework look like. Yeah.
This stuff is having to catch up. That's a big reason why the ROI is not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when we talk to companies about innovating, we always advise them to start with the business problem, not the technology, to build that cross-functional team that can promote adoption. What are some of the things that you advise customers on to succeed with AI?
Yeah, we say call less. But jokes apart, I think really identifying that problem and identifying the first thing that they're going to go after, the first couple of things that they're going after, and also being able to bring your lines of businesses, your data scientists and your infrastructure teams together so you can actually think about things. Defining a governance framework goes a long way as well. We work very closely with most of our customers in their journey, understanding the problem that they're trying to solve, figuring out what's the best place to solve it. If they have hybrid needs for that particular use case, how are we going to support for that? And just making sure that we have all the capabilities that they need to be successful. Yeah. And I would like to just say that you can attend an AI executive accelerator. That's a good way to get started. We have a rich set of experiences in ClearScape Analytics experience where you can really play with things and see different use cases and explore them, as well as try AI Unlimited, which is a very lightweight way for data scientists to kick the tires around and really experience all the deep capabilities of ClearScape Analytics. Doug, I wanted to thank you for joining us. It was very interesting to talk to you today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.